want to kind of do a little river treasure hunting finds video. And a bunch of people are going to go, wait a minute, how are you going to do a river treasure hunting finds video? We've never seen you do any river treasure hunting videos. Yeah, that's kind of true. About 2 years ago, I started watching, I stumbled across Aqua Chigger and said, man, I want to do this, man, I want to do this. And that summer I did just a little bit, not nearly as much as I wanted to. And last summer I thought, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it a lot more. And once again, I didn't get quite around to doing it as much as I wanted to. But in the few times I went, I found quite a bunch of stuff. And some of it I thought was pretty interesting and pretty good for the few times. Hopefully, this summer, once again, and this year, it'll be like, okay, I'm going to go do a lot more river treasure hunting. I'm going to plan it out a little bit better. But let me show you some of the finds, some of the categories and things I have. I've got a ton of fishing lead. And I actually bought a little mold so I can melt this down, hopefully, and one day turn it into dive weights for myself, repurpose it. Found some change, found some fishing lure stuff, found some little electronics, which I'll go over, some also weirdness. Found the most popular thing, sunglasses and glasses. And it was funny, one time at one place, I noticed a guy, he was diving down looking for something. I said, hey, you looking for something? And he goes, yeah, I lost my glasses. I go, what do they look like? And he goes, black frame, Buddy Holly looking. I went, I got him over here. I was happy enough to give him back his glasses. Biggest thing I found, of course, was a paddle from a rafting company, which they got their name on it, so I haven't made it back there, but I'm going to bring that back to them. So let's get that off the table. But big reason I haven't put any of the videos up is because you're sitting there a lot of times, at least I am, diving and not finding anything. And you got the camera running, and you just don't want to sit there and slog through it all. And then I cut it off, and I go down, and I find something. I think, well, what do I got to do? Swim back up to the top, or not swim back to the top, but turn the camera on and then go back down and, video it. I actually bought a couple of, battery backpacks for some of my GoPro, so that maybe I will just sit there and video nonstop. But a lot of times, you're looking and it's like a moonscape. There's nothing in some of the places I've been down there. Another thing which is not going to be on this table is over in Columbus, right off the Rock Island there, I found a big wad of keys with a little remote for a car and all this stuff. And it had this little medallion on it that said Prevacid AC, and I see those commercials all the time for it. You flipped it over and said, basically put this in the mail and return postage will be guaranteed. So I went, okay, cool. And I put a little tag on it, like a little key, those little cheap key things where you can write what it is on there. And I put found by, my email address. And I hooked it to it and I brought it to the post office. And the lady at the post office looked at me and she's like, what's this? I said, well, I found this in this river and it's got this little thing on it that says that, postage will be guaranteed to return postage. And she just kind of looked at me and like, what do you want me to do? I said, well, I guess it gets mailed back. And I gave it to her. I said, what are you going to do with it? And she goes, we're going to take it and throw it back in the river. I'm like, gee, thanks, lady. Anyhow, another thing that's not exactly up here, the actual one, but this is just a representative. Diving, I found an SD card, and I thought, oh, cool! I'm gonna, dry it out, and I'm gonna look at it and see, what's on there, pictures or video. Holy cow! Dried the sucker out, put it in. It was brand new. There was a 16 gigabyte card. There was nothing on it, and I'm figuring these people were standing on the rocks on the side of the pool that they were at. And, dumped it and dropped it in the river because there wasn't anything on there. It couldn't have been long ago because even the paper on the card wasn't waterlogged or worn off or icky or anything like that. It was brand new, so it's kind of a bummer that there was nothing on it. But this is just representing it. So there's a couple of things that aren't here, but let's take a look at what we got here. I got some change there. I think I counted out about $1.88. I got a lot of lead. Fishing lead. Most of that's from Columbus right there. There's all these people who fish, and you'll find tons of sinker weight. I got a little, I don't know, Bob the Builder. What would Jesus do? Little goggles. little bit of jewelry. These small fake pearl earrings. I found them both, and I was trying to climb up these slippery rocks and ended up slipping and falling. And as I fell, I dropped one of them. I think it rolled down and went back into the water. But some little cheesy necklace, on a really rotted out old carabiner, a watch that is still working. I don't know whether this is actually just, who knows what it is. I don't think it's really a phone as such. Missing the battery in there. I think that was in Columbus. Somebody's little vape thing. Whole bunch of sinkers. I found, and I'll cover it up, somebody's debit card. This guy, I found out by looking up Facebook that he's a kayaker, and I haven't been able to contact him, but I'm sure he's replaced the thing, but I just think it'd be funny if he knew that, hey, somebody found my card there. Haven't gotten a whole bunch of fishing lures and things, but I guess all that stuff's from Columbus too. Battery to somebody's video camera, or some really old film camera. Really super grunged up and bunged up, and cracked open so a bunch of water's come out of it. It used to be waterproof, I guess. And of course, the sunglasses. Aquachigger, he's got his sunglasses fence. I've got my sunglasses put on the little bar over my window where you usually hang drapes from, or their valance or something goes up there. And of course, about 4 pairs of, I don't know if they're reading glasses or the actual prescription glasses. Now I want to get to some of the coolest things that I've found so far. One of them I found was a real basic Fitbit. It was working at the time. I don't know how, I just you'd press it or do something to it and these little lights would come on in here, but found that in the water. That's one of the cooler things, I think. Interesting little necklace. More should be in the jewelry pile there. I came swimming up on this thing, and it looked like a little napkin ring. But as I got closer and turned and looked at it, that's pretty cool. There's a little Buddha right in there. I don't know what is. Part of me thought it was some kind of like hair decoration or something like that, but that's just I thought it was really, really neat. Let's see if the camera will resolve that, focus in on there. I just thought that was one of the coolest things. Also, quite to my surprise, came across an iPhone 6s Plus. And the amazing thing is, that screen is in beautiful, perfect condition. No cracks in it or scratches or anything. It was just kind of sitting there up inside between some rocks. There is some river scum on there. I dried it out, charged it up, and when you're jacked into the power, the little kind of blank iPhone screen will come up with a little Apple symbol, but there's like a line through it, like there's some pixels missing or out, and the colors are kind of weird. I was going to jack it in and kind of show you what it looks like, but basically it doesn't work. And I did press some buttons and somehow get it to show where it says, hook up to iTunes. So I don't know. I wonder if there's any way I can crack this thing and find out who owns it. Just so, get back and let them know that it was found. And the place I was at, it was kind of shady, and then the sun came out. And here, one of the coolest things I found. I look and I see something shiny. And at first I thought, well, maybe this is a silver ring. But a friend looked in there and said, it's 14 karat, says 14K, and said, maybe it's white gold. So I haven't waited or brought it. I keep meaning to bring it to a pawn shop and just kind of asking them about it and because they sit there and say, we buy gold, just kind of see what it's like the scrap value is. Aquachigger on some of his videos will show some rings that he's found and tell you what the scrap value is. So that I thought was great. I actually found these two things on the same trip and thought, wow, I hit two kind of milestones, a nice, gold ring and a really decent phone in one hunting trip. Like I say, that was pretty cool, and that's pretty cool to me. And that's basically it. And you know, like I say, this is maybe from, I don't know, 10, 15 treasure hunts. A lot of times I don't find a whole lot, but it's still fun, and I plan on doing a whole bunch more of it. Aquachigger's got his famous fence that he puts his sunglasses on. I put the sunglasses I found treasure hunting up on top of this rod above the window in my bedroom. Well, hope you found it kind of interesting. Like I said, a lot of sunglasses, regular glasses, the phone, you know, some interesting little jewelry, and I really wonder what this, you know, year is going to hold. I keep holding out for the GoPros. Not like I don't already have enough with, you know, 20-something GoPros, 16 of the high-definition ones, but anyhow, it'll be kind of interesting. I got some new toys and things like that to try in the river, and we'll see what happens. And I'm going to try to find some new places and search a little harder and do a little bit better than I did before. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you'll stick with. I might put together some video of some of my searches and some of my little swims looking for stuff, but I've got to slog through over like a terabyte of unedited video, which is crazy. I shoot, and then don't get around to editing it. So I've got years and, you know, some summers of 500, 600 gigabytes of video. Anyhow, that's what I got. Hopefully I can return some of the stuff to people like I do with those glasses and that paddle, the river rafting paddle, and who knows, maybe that phone and stuff. Anyhow, hope you'll join me, and hope you'll tune in, and hope you'll look for more river treasure with me. Bye.